Welcome back to Science in Sleeping. I'm so glad you've decided to join me tonight. Whether you're tucked in bed, wrapped in a blanket, or simply looking for a moment of calm in your busy day, tonight we're drifting into a world that exists quietly within you, a hidden universe of thoughts, cells, and rhythms that continue to move and breathe while you rest. I hope this helps you drift off gently, or at least gives your mind a gentle place to wander. There's no pressure to stay alert. No need to analyze or remember. Just allow yourself to listen, to feel the ebb and flow of the information as if it were a soft tide washing over your mind. Before we begin, I'd love to know where you're watching from, what time it is in your corner of the world, whether you're in a bustling city, a quiet village, or somewhere in between. We're sharing this space together, a small global moment of curiosity and calm. Tonight, you have permission to let go. You don't need to remember any of this. You don't need to solve any problems or push yourself to learn at top speed. Just let your thoughts drift. Let the gentle science stories float around you like clouds. And if sleep comes sooner than you expect, that's perfectly okay. So, settle in, get comfortable, adjust your pillow just a little, feel the support beneath you. Notice the rise and fall of your chest as you breathe. And as you exhale, imagine letting go of the day. Each sigh releasing tension, each moment drawing you closer to a state of calm. We'll start tonight with the most fascinating part of you, the part that never truly rests, your neurons, these tiny cells, trillions of them, firing quietly, whispering messages to one another in patterns we're only beginning to understand. They carry your memories, your dreams, your fears, your hopes, and even your laughter, all in flickers of electricity, and they never stop. Even when your eyelids grow heavy, imagine a vast forest of glowing pathways, each neuron like a tree sending signals to its neighbors, pulses of light traveling along branches and across synapses, weaving an intricate dance of thought and memory. This network is more active than you might think, even as your body begins to slow, even as your breathing deepens, and your muscles relax. And tonight, as we explore the secret life of your neurons, I'll take you gently through their world, through the science, the discoveries, and the mysteries that researchers have uncovered, all presented in a soft, relaxing way, like a story whispered in the dark, one that your mind can follow or let drift by. Throughout this journey, you might notice your mind wandering. That's perfectly natural. Your neurons themselves wander in a way, making connections, reorganizing information, creating new patterns. As you listen, let your curiosity mingle with relaxation, and allow the knowledge to become part of the soothing rhythm that carries you toward sleep. So take a deep breath, feel the weight of your body pressing into the mattress. Let your arms and legs sink, feel the tiny movements of your fingers, the gentle thrum of your heartbeat, and know that inside you, a universe of neurons is quietly alive, sending messages, forming memories, and even creating dreams before you're aware of them. And now, with your body settled, your mind open, and your awareness softening, let's begin. Let's step quietly into the world of your neurons, their secret life, their gentle pulses, their unending stories, and together we'll drift, slowly, softly, into a night of calm, curiosity, and gentle wonder. Have you ever wondered what really happens inside your brain when your eyes close and the world around you fades away. Have you ever felt that quiet moment just before sleep, when thoughts start to drift like leaves on a stream, and wondered if your mind is truly at rest tonight? We're going to explore that hidden universe, the one you carry with you wherever you go. The universe of your neurons, those tiny messengers that never sleep. Picture yourself standing at the edge of a vast forest at night, the air still, a soft breeze carrying the faint scent of earth and leaves above you. The stars twinkle like distant neurons firing in another universe, and the moon casts gentle shadows across the ground. In the same way, your neurons stretch and connect in a quiet, intricate dance, sending signals, forming memories, rehearsing dreams. Each flicker of electrical energy is like a firefly blinking in the dark, creating a luminous network that never truly sleeps. Neurons are astonishing, each one a tiny cell with a main body, delicate branches called dendrites, and a long tail known as an axon. They communicate through electrical impulses and chemical messengers, and while you rest, their activity changes, shifting from processing the day's information to consolidating memories, repairing themselves, and even clearing out waste that accumulates in your brain. Did you know that during sleep, your brain can be almost as active as when you're awake, yet in a way that is profoundly restorative? Imagine your neurons like a city at night, the streets quiet, but the essential services still running. Garbage trucks moving along, lights flickering in homes as people dream, bridges connecting distant neighborhoods, traffic signals coordinating everything seamlessly in this city of cells. Synapses, the connections between neurons, strengthen certain pathways and let others fade, helping you remember what matters and forget what doesn't. It's as if your brain is writing, editing, and publishing a book about your life, chapter by chapter, while you drift peacefully in bed. One fascinating aspect of neurons is how they communicate through neurotransmitters, those chemical messengers that carry signals across the synaptic gap. For example, serotonin, which helps regulate mood, and dopamine, which creates feelings of reward and pleasure, are active during different stages of sleep, balancing your emotions, reinforcing learning, and even shaping your dreams. Another neurotransmitter, glycine, acts like a gentle gatekeeper, helping to relax your muscles so you can lie still and sink deeper into rest. Your brain orchestrates these chemicals with exquisite timing, like a symphony performed for an audience of one. During deep sleep, known as slow-wave sleep, neurons fire together in rhythmic waves, a pattern scientists call synchronous activity. It's as if the forest of your mind begins to breathe in unison, inhaling memories and exhaling clutter. This coordinated activity helps consolidate long-term memories, repair damaged cells, and remove metabolic waste through a process called the glymphatic system. Did you know that this nightly cleansing is one reason why sleep is so crucial for learning, creativity, and emotional balance? Without it, the clutter would accumulate, leaving the brain sluggish and stressed, even during REM sleep, when your eyes dart beneath closed lids and vivid dreams unfold. Neurons are extraordinarily active, particularly in regions like the limbic system, which governs emotion, and the visual cortex, which constructs the rich imagery of dreams. It's a paradoxical state. Your body is still, almost paralyzed, to prevent acting out dreams, While your brain is engaged in intricate storytelling, problem solving, and emotional processing, dreams may seem random, but they reflect the complex interplay of memory, desire, and neural activity, weaving fragments of your experiences into sometimes profound, sometimes bizarre narratives. Consider the metaphor of a river flowing through a dense forest, its water carving channels, nourishing trees, and carrying sediments downstream. Your neurons operate in a similar way. Streams of electrical impulses shaping the landscape of your mind over time. Repeated patterns of thought and behavior create well-trodden paths, while new experiences form fresh trails. This is why learning a new skill feels challenging at first, but gradually, with practice and restful nights, the pathways strengthen. Your brain is both gardener and river, sculpting and tending itself in a continuous cycle of growth and restoration. And then there's the role of glial cells, often called the support cells of the brain. These quiet helpers maintain the environment, provide nutrients, and even communicate with neurons to modulate activity during sleep. Glial cells play a particularly important role in clearing out toxins and strengthening synapses. You might imagine them as caretakers sweeping the streets of the neuron city, ensuring that everything is orderly, calm, and ready for the next day. Their presence is subtle yet essential, reminding us that even in rest, there is a quiet diligence at work. Reflecting on all this, you might notice a sense of awe rising within you. Each neuron, each synapse, each pulse of electricity is part of a vast, interconnected system, a microcosm of the universe itself. The brain is not just a biological organ. It is a living story, continuously written, edited, and rewritten while you sleep, like starlight traveling across millions of miles to reach your eyes. Neural signals traverse distances, carrying information, memory, and emotion. In this way, your nightly rest is a bridge between what you were, what you are, and what you might become. Consider how connected you are, not only to your own inner universe, but to the cosmos at large. The atoms in your neurons were formed in stars billions of years ago, and now they carry electrical messages that define your consciousness. Each night, as you settle into bed, you are participating in an ancient rhythm, a dance of matter and energy, a quiet meditation orchestrated by the universe itself. Let this thought comfort you, that even in sleep, you are part of a story far larger than yourself, a narrative of wonder, continuity, and gentle mystery. And now, as your body softens, your breath deepens, and your mind drifts with the rhythm of neural pulses, we will slowly begin to wander toward another corner of the brain, another secret life waiting to be explored. In a few moments, we will explore how dreams are crafted, how memory consolidates, and how the brain uses the night to heal, all while you remain cocooned in warmth, comfort, and curiosity, ready to drift ever deeper into sleep. Have you ever wondered why, when you close your eyes, entire worlds seem to unfold behind your eyelids? Have you ever noticed how a dream can feel incredibly real, yet vanish the moment you try to grasp it? Tonight, we're going to explore the hidden architecture of dreams, the mysterious ways your brain constructs stories, emotions, and images while you sleep. Picture yourself standing on the edge of an ancient library, shelves stretching higher than you can see, filled with books written in a language you almost understand. Some of these books hold memories of yesterday, some of moments you've long forgotten, and others contain fragments of experiences you haven't yet had. The library is dimly lit, and the quiet hum of unseen activity surrounds you. Each whisper, each flicker of light represents a neuron at work, weaving the tapestry of your dreams. Your brain, during REM sleep, is like a master architect constructing elaborate landscapes from fragments of memory, emotion, and imagination. Neurons in the hippocampus, the area responsible for forming new memories, relay information to the neocortex, where long-term memories are stored. Meanwhile, the amygdala, the seat of emotion, paints those memories with color, intensity, and sometimes fear. Did you know that in dreams, the logical parts of your brain are much less active, which is why the impossible feels possible and the strange becomes normal? Imagine a city where the street lamps are your emotions, flickering and dancing unpredictably, while the roads themselves are memory pathways, winding in loops, intersections, and hidden alleys in this city. Dreams are spontaneous festivals that appear out of nowhere, sometimes joyous, sometimes perplexing, yet always meaningful to the brain's nightly task of organizing information. Your subconscious selects fragments from this city, rearranging them, amplifying some signals, silencing others, until a coherenter, sometimes delightfully incoherent story emerges. One of the most fascinating mysteries is how the brain decides what to keep and what to discard. While you sleep, memories compete for permanence, reinforced by repeated neural firing, yet trivial or unneeded details are pruned away. It's as if your mind is a meticulous librarian, choosing which books remain on the shelves, which are stored in the attic, and which are quietly recycled into paper for new stories. This process is largely unconscious, yet it shapes your learning, creativity, and emotional resilience. Did you know that a vivid dream may actually be your brain rehearsing potential solutions to problems you faced during the day? A rehearsal stage for future decision-making. As you drift deeper into this world, consider the role of imagination in dreams. It's not just random firing of neurons, but a highly creative, deeply personal process. Your brain synthesizes sensory input from your day, fragments of memory from years past, and even abstract concepts you may never have consciously pondered. The result can be a breathtaking landscape, a strange encounter, or a moment of profound revelation. It is both personal and universal, a nightly reminder of the immense complexity of your mind. Now, picture walking through a dream that shifts around you, walls melting, skies changing color, familiar faces appearing in unfamiliar roles. This is your brain experimenting, testing scenarios, integrating experiences. It's a playground where rules bend, time folds, and imagination reigns. Yet, beneath the surface of this fantastical world, neurons are firing with precision, reinforcing connections, stabilizing important information, and even repairing minor damage caused by daily stress. The more you observe, the more you realize that dreams are not chaos, but a deliberate, elegant orchestration. Consider how different types of memories are processed. Episodic memories, moments you lived through, are carefully woven into long-term storage. Emotional memories are given special attention, which is why dreams often evoke strong feelings. Procedural memories, such as learning to play a musical instrument or ride a bicycle, are rehearsed silently, strengthening neural pathways while your body remains still. This nightly rehearsal is like a backstage crew preparing a grand performance that will unfold in your waking life. Invisible but essential. There is also a suspenseful mystery in dreams. Sometimes your brain introduces elements that seem completely foreign. Symbols, faces, or scenarios you've never consciously encountered. Psychologists and neuroscientists suggest that these strange intrusions may be the brain experimenting with possibilities, or creating symbolic narratives to process emotions and anxieties. Imagine it as an enigmatic storyteller working in the shadows, leaving clues for you to decode, subtle hints about your fears, desires, and the connections your conscious mind may have overlooked. And then there's lucid dreaming, the rare state when awareness awakens within the dream. You can walk through the library of your subconscious with a sense of presence, choosing paths, opening doors, interacting with characters. In this suspended state, your neurons are extraordinarily active, combining creativity, logic, and sensory perception, allowing the dreamer to explore the architecture of their mind in a way that borders on magic. It's both a scientific marvel and a profoundly human experience. Reflect on this. Every night, your brain constructs, navigates, and refines these inner worlds, silently, tirelessly, creating experiences that are invisible yet vivid, fleeting yet impactful. The architecture of dreams is a testament to your mind's resilience, creativity, and subtle genius. Like a cathedral of thought rising in darkness, each neuron a brick, each synapse a stained glass window glowing with potential. There is comfort in knowing that even when you feel lost in thought, your brain is working diligently, crafting stories, weaving memories, and caring for your inner self. Now, as you feel the gentle rhythm of your own breath, notice how your body is the foundation for this nightly construction. Muscles softening, heart beating calmly, mind oscillating between waking and sleeping. Let the suspense of your inner universe linger just slightly, a gentle curiosity that does not disturb but soothes. Like a river that bends quietly around rocks, the flow of your consciousness curves around the mysteries of your own mind, allowing insight and rest to coexist, and soon we will drift together to another realm where the secret networks of the brain communicate with the body in ways you cannot see, yet profoundly feel. We will explore how sleep consolidates not just memory, but emotion, learning, and even creativity, all while you remain cocooned in warmth and curiosity, ready to journey ever deeper into the secrets of your own mind. Have you ever wondered how your body seems to know exactly what to do while you sleep? Have you noticed how, even in complete stillness, your heart beats, your lungs expand, and your thoughts drift in patterns that feel almost orchestrated? Tonight, we're going to explore the secret dialogue between your brain and body, the silent, intricate conversation that ensures restoration, balance, and subtle growth throughout the night. Picture yourself standing on the shore of a vast, moonlit lake, the water perfectly still. Yet, beneath the surface, a hidden network of currents swirls and flows, unseen but powerful. The ripples you see on the surface are only hints of the profound activity below. In the same way, your body seems calm as you drift into sleep, but beneath the surface, billions of cells, hormones, and neurons communicate in a complex, synchronized symphony. The first messenger in this nightly dialogue is melatonin, the hormone secreted by your pineal gland as darkness falls. Melatonin acts like a gentle conductor, signaling to your brain and body that it's time to rest, lowering alertness and priming neurons for sleep. It also synchronizes other systems, subtly adjusting your blood pressure, body temperature, and heart rate. Did you know that the timing of melatonin release can vary slightly depending on your age, environment, and even your exposure to light during the day, creating a personalized rhythm that is uniquely yours? As you drift deeper into sleep, the dialogue intensifies, orchestrated by the autonomic nervous system, which quietly regulates breathing, circulation, and digestion. The sympathetic branch slows down, like a fleet of runners gradually resting on the sidelines, while the parasympathetic branch activates, soothing your heart, relaxing your muscles, and encouraging your organs to perform restorative functions. It's a dance of push and pull, a balance of tension and release, and each cycle is subtly different, adjusting to the needs of your body. Imagine your neurons sending gentle signals like letters delivered through an invisible courier system, instructing your liver to detoxify, your kidneys to filter, your immune system to repair. Each instruction is precise yet poetic, a coded message written in chemical language. Hormones like growth hormone and prolactin surge during deep sleep, repairing tissues, building muscle, and fortifying your defenses against illness. Your body is conducting a nightly maintenance ritual that is largely hidden yet essential for every waking moment. One of the most fascinating elements of this dialogue is how sleep affects your emotional regulation. Even as your body rests, the amygdala and prefrontal cortex communicate, reviewing emotional experiences from the day, smoothing the edges of anxiety, and reinforcing positive responses. Imagine a gentle editor quietly reviewing the day's manuscript, smoothing tense passages, enhancing moments of joy, and quietly storing lessons learned. Dreams that emerge during REM sleep are often the result of this emotional processing, a subtle rehearsal that allows your mind to navigate complex social and personal situations. There's a mysterious suspense in how your body determines the depth of sleep required on any given night, sometimes offering longer periods of slow-wave sleep, other times favoring REM, depending on prior exertion, stress, or learning activity. It's as if an invisible conductor reads a nightly report, adjusting the performance for maximum efficiency. The synchronization between body and brain ensures that physical restoration, memory consolidation, and emotional processing all occur in harmony. Even when you remain blissfully unaware, consider your breathing during sleep, a rhythmic metronome that subtly shifts to match the stage of sleep you are in. In deep sleep, breathing slows and becomes more regular, while in REM sleep, it may become irregular, punctuated with bursts that echo the emotional content of your dreams. Each inhalation and exhalation is part of the dialogue, providing oxygen for neurons, facilitating cellular repair, and signaling to other systems that the night's performance is progressing. It is both scientific and poetic, a whisper of life that never ceases. Even your heart participates in this dialogue. Its rate and variability, modulated by neural signals from the vagus nerve and other pathways. During deep sleep, heart rate drops, blood pressure stabilizes, and your cardiovascular system experiences a restorative reprieve. In REM sleep, the heart may race subtly in synchrony with dream narratives, reflecting the intimate connection between mind and body. It is a mysterious choreography, a reminder that even at rest, your body is alive with purpose, precision, and hidden intrigue. Did you know that the immune system also follows this nightly dialogue, releasing cytokines and other protective molecules that enhance defense, repair damaged tissues, and maintain balance? Sleep deprivation disrupts this conversation, leaving the immune system less coordinated and more vulnerable. This highlights the profound intelligence in the night, a silent dialogue that is invisible, intimate, and vital for survival. It is both awe-inspiring and comforting to realize that your body cares for itself so diligently while you sleep. Reflect on the poetic elegance of this nightly communication. Every neuron, hormone, and organ contributes to a hidden symphony, a dialogue that is never rushed, never chaotic, yet filled with subtle suspense. It is a story unfolding behind closed eyelids, a narrative of restoration, intelligence, and quiet marvel. Like a hidden network of rivers beneath a tranquil lake, or a constellation of stars whispering to one another across the sky. Your body and brain collaborate in ways that are intricate, invisible, and profoundly beautiful. And now, as your breathing deepens and your awareness softens, allow yourself to imagine this dialogue continuing, quietly, seamlessly. Within you, every pulse, every chemical signal, every neural firing is a message of care, a reminder that rest is not idle, but alive with activity. Let the gentle suspense of these hidden conversations lull you, knowing that your body is healing, learning, and creating the conditions for a new day. Soon, we will drift toward another module, exploring the mysterious ways dreams, memory, and emotion interweave to guide not only your sleep, but your waking creativity and insight. But for now, let yourself sink into the calm rhythm of your own body and mind, feeling the quiet conversation beneath your skin, the soft hum of life that carries you deeper into the night. Have you ever wondered what happens inside your body while you sleep? How every cell seems to awaken in silence, repairing, regenerating, and communicating in ways that are invisible yet essential. Tonight, we're going to explore the magic of nighttime metabolism, the hidden restoration that occurs at a cellular level, and the quiet alchemy that transforms rest into vitality. Picture yourself in a hidden garden at midnight, the moonlight spilling across dew-kissed leaves. Each plant, each blade of grass, glows faintly with life, as if performing its own secret ritual. Beneath the surface, roots send messages to one another, exchanging nutrients and energy in much the same way. Your cells engage in nightly conversations, releasing signals, repairing damage, and distributing energy precisely where it is needed. Every molecule has a purpose, every pulse is coordinated, yet it all happens silently, unseen. Your metabolism during sleep is unlike any daytime process. It slows, in some ways, conserving energy, yet accelerates in others, focusing on repair, detoxification, and balance. Your liver, the master chemist, processes toxins, manufactures proteins, and regulates glucose, while your pancreas releases insulin and other hormones to stabilize blood sugar. Did you know that growth hormone surges during the first part of the night, stimulating tissue repair, muscle growth, and even the rebuilding of bone? It's as if your body carries out a secret renovation while the world outside rests. Meanwhile, mitochondria, the tiny powerhouses inside each cell, become exceptionally active, producing energy, repairing damage, and signaling to neighboring cells. Imagine a network of lanterns, flickering in synchronized patterns across a vast city, illuminating repair crews, transporting supplies, and coordinating activity. Each mitochondrion contributes to the subtle orchestration, ensuring that your body wakes refreshed, healed, and ready for the challenges ahead. This nightly activity is a reminder that rest is far from passive. It is a time of intense, purposeful vitality. Consider the immune system, quietly patrolling your body, repairing tissues, fighting microscopic intruders, and communicating with the nervous system. Cytokines, the chemical messengers, are released in carefully timed pulses, reinforcing defenses and promoting healing. Did you know that lack of sleep disrupts this nocturnal rhythm, leaving the body more susceptible to illness, inflammation, and stress? Sleep is the silent sentinel that preserves the integrity of your body and mind, working tirelessly while your awareness drifts away. Even your muscles, which may feel completely relaxed, engage in delicate repair during the night. Protein synthesis increases, damaged fibers are reconstructed, and strength is subtly enhanced. Think of it as a hidden workshop where craftsmen move with quiet precision, stitching together threads, polishing surfaces, and reinforcing structures. You are both the observer and beneficiary of this activity, unaware yet intimately connected to the processes that restore your body. There is also an intriguing mystery in how your brain and body communicate during this time. Neural signals inform organs when to slow down, when to accelerate, when to prioritize repair. Hormonal cues, such as cortisol and leptin, balanced stress and appetite, creating an invisible feedback loop that maintains equilibrium. Imagine a council of wise advisors meeting in the quiet night, exchanging information, making decisions, and ensuring the smooth running of a vast, complex city. Your body is this city, and sleep is the council's secret session, invisible yet crucial. Now, imagine the role of cellular cleanup, the process scientists call autophagy, where damaged or dysfunctional components within cells are broken down and recycled. It is a subtle, elegant mechanism, like a silent librarian carefully sorting through old manuscripts, removing what is unnecessary and preserving what is valuable. This process is vital for longevity, brain health, and metabolic efficiency, and it is largely activated during deep sleep, reinforcing the notion that the night is a time of hidden wonder and meticulous care. Even the cardiovascular system participates in this nightly restoration. Heart rate slows, blood pressure drops, and arteries experience a brief reprieve from the demands of the day. This rest is essential, allowing the heart and vessels to recover, reducing stress, and promoting long-term health. Imagine a river that has flowed tirelessly all day, finally slowing to a gentle, reflective pace, allowing sediment to settle and currents to realign. This is the rhythm of your body at night, a delicate balance of action and stillness, orchestrated with precision. There is suspense in the timing and sequence of these processes. For example, some cellular repairs occur preferentially during certain sleep stages, while others are coordinated with hormone release or neural activity. The body seems to follow an invisible script, adjusting dynamically based on the day's stress, activity, and environmental factors. It is a marvel of evolution, an unseen narrative of restoration that ensures survival, efficiency, and well-being. Reflect on the poetic beauty of this nightly alchemy. Every heartbeat, every neural signal, every chemical messenger is part of a grand narrative, a story of resilience, repair, and renewal. Like a moonlit orchestra hidden within your cells, each instrument plays its part in harmony with countless others. The suspense, the mystery, and the elegance of this process can be a source of wonder and calm, reminding you that rest is not passive, but profoundly active, alive with hidden intelligence. And now, as you feel your body softening, your breathing deepening, and the gentle rhythm of life flowing through you, imagine these processes continuing seamlessly, silently. Within you, your cells are repairing, your organs are harmonizing, and your brain is orchestrating a symphony of restoration. Let yourself marvel at the hidden magic of nighttime metabolism, feeling a gentle awe and reassurance that you are cared for in ways beyond conscious perception. Soon, we will journey to another module, exploring the subtle connections between sleep, memory, and creativity. How the hidden processes of the night not only restore the body, but also enhance your mind, dreams, and insights. But for now, rest in the knowledge that your body is performing a miraculous, intricate, and deeply intelligent dialogue with itself, preparing you for tomorrow. Have you ever wondered why your mind sometimes conjures entire worlds while you sleep? How fleeting images, strange landscapes, and vivid emotions emerge from nowhere, only to vanish the moment you awaken. We're going to explore the nocturnal symphony of dreams, the hidden orchestration that fuels creativity, emotional insight, and the quiet mysteries of your subconscious. Picture yourself in a vast, starlit amphitheater, the seats empty, yet a performance unfolds on the stage. Shadows dance, lights flicker, and music plays without musicians. This is the stage of your mind during REM sleep, a place where imagination and memory intermingle, where neurons fire in patterns that are both unpredictable and precisely coordinated. Each dream is like an improvised composition, a story written by a secret author, simultaneously familiar and utterly strange. During REM sleep, the brain is astonishingly active, almost as active as when you are awake. Yet it operates under different rules. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for logic and reasoning, becomes quieter, allowing the more emotional and visual centers to take the lead. Meanwhile, the limbic system, the seat of emotion, pulses vividly, coloring your experiences with intensity. The hippocampus communicates with the neurons, consolidating memories, testing scenarios, and weaving fragments of the day into intricate tapestries of narrative. Imagine a painter standing before a canvas, using colors that shift with every brushstroke, creating scenes that evoke wonder, confusion, joy, or fear. This is your brain, painting with neurons, drawing with neurotransmitters, blending experiences, sensations, and imagination into something that is at once ephemeral and meaningful. Each dream is an experiment, a rehearsal, a secret conversation with yourself, testing emotions, problem-solving, and creativity without your conscious direction. There is suspense in the unexpected nature of dreams. How your mind can merge distant memories, imagined concepts, and fragments of your environment into something entirely new. Sometimes you may encounter a familiar face in an unfamiliar role, or a landscape that seems both real and impossible. This unpredictability is not random. It is the brain exploring, simulating, and preparing for possibilities in waking life. Did you know that some of the most famous creative breakthroughs in history were inspired by dreams? From scientific theories to artistic masterpieces, the night acting as a silent incubator for innovation. Consider how the brain uses dreams to process emotions, smoothing the rough edges of the day and helping you integrate experiences. Emotional memories are rehearsed, anxiety is tempered, and insights emerge in symbolic form like a quiet counselor working behind the scenes. Your subconscious guides you through complex feelings, offering solutions or new perspectives. The suspense lies in its subtlety, in the way solutions appear in fragments, teasing your awareness until you awaken with a sense of revelation. Your dreams are also linked to problem solving, as neurons fire in novel sequences, connecting previously unrelated ideas. Imagine a secret laboratory in the depths of your mind, where experiments unfold silently, hypotheses are tested, and insights emerge without fanfare. Often, your dreams present scenarios that help you rehearse responses, anticipate challenges, or reframe experiences. This nightly experimentation is a testament to the hidden intelligence of your brain, working tirelessly while the world outside is still. There is also a poetic element to dreams, a sense of narrative, symbolism, and aesthetic beauty. As neurons fire, they create stories that often have meaning only when reflected upon. Each dream a coded message, a puzzle of personal significance. The brain balances coherence and chaos, weaving together fragments of memory, imagination, and emotion into patterns that are deeply human. Yet the suspense of uncertainty remains. For dreams are ephemeral, impossible to fully capture or predict, leaving a lingering sense of wonder and curiosity. Even the body participates in this symphony, signaling through subtle movements, shifts in breathing, and variations in heart rate. These cues reflect the intensity, emotional content, or vividness of the dream. Imagine a silent orchestra accompanying the painter, a delicate interplay between mind and body, each contributing to the richness of the experience. The more deeply you understand this hidden performance, the more awe-inspiring it becomes, a testament to the intelligence, creativity, and subtle genius that unfolds nightly. Did you know that lucid dreaming allows you to consciously participate in this nocturnal symphony, guiding narratives, exploring imagined landscapes, and interacting with dream characters in lucid states? Your prefrontal cortex awakens slightly, adding awareness and agency. Yet the emotional and visual centers remain active, creating a profound hybrid of conscious and subconscious experience. This unique state offers insight, exploration, and sometimes even solutions to waking dilemmas. A bridge between the known and the mysterious. Reflect on the poetic implications of this nightly activity. How dreams connect your inner life to the vast tapestry of experience. Every neural pulse, every flicker of synaptic activity, every fleeting image in your mind contributes to a narrative of restoration, creativity, and discovery, like a secret library, a hidden theater, and a painter's studio, all rolled into one. The brain during sleep is alive with possibility, suspense, and profound intelligence. And now, as your body softens, your mind drifts, and the rhythm of your breath deepens. Let yourself become an observer of this nocturnal symphony, aware of the hidden orchestration of neurons, glial cells, and networks collaborating to create dreams, insights, and emotional balance. Allow the gentle suspense of unknown discoveries to lull you, comforting yet intriguing, a whisper of mystery that deepens your relaxation and curiosity. Soon, we will drift into another module, exploring how sleep not only consolidates memory and fuels creativity, but also strengthens intuition, problem solving, and the subtle guidance of your subconscious in waking life. But for now, rest in the knowledge that your nocturnal symphony is active, alive, and deeply attuned to your well-being, carrying you effortlessly through the hidden landscapes of your mind. Have you ever wondered why some memories linger in vivid detail while others slip away like mist? Why certain ideas seem to crystallize in your mind after a good night's rest? Tonight, we're stepping into the hidden influence of sleep on learning and intelligence, a story that reveals how your mind becomes a secret classroom while your body rests. Picture yourself in an ancient library, its shelves stretching into infinity. Each book represents a memory, a lesson, or a moment from your day. Some are crisp and glowing, ready to be placed on the right shelf, while others are scattered, fragile, or incomplete. As you close your eyes at night, a team of silent librarians awakens, carefully sorting, labeling, and protecting the stories of your life. Science has shown that sleep is not simply a break from learning, but an essential part of it. While you rest, neurons replay patterns of activity from the day, strengthening connections, reorganizing information, and discarding what is unnecessary. This process is called memory consolidation, and it is one of the most mysterious and powerful gifts of sleep. Imagine your brain rehearsing piano notes, mathematical formulas, or new languages, embedding them more deeply while you dream. There are two main stages of sleep that shape your intelligence. Non-REM sleep, particularly the deep, slow-wave stages, acts like a sculptor, carving out strong neural pathways, stabilizing facts, and storing them in long-term memory. REM sleep, by contrast, is like a creative artist, linking disparate ideas, finding patterns, and sparking novel connections together. These two modes create balance, precision, and inspiration, quietly enhancing your learning in ways you may never notice. Did you know that when you practice a skill, whether it's playing an instrument, memorizing lines, or even shooting basketball hoops, your brain replays those movements during sleep? Neurons in the motor cortex fire in the same sequence, reinforcing precision and timing. It's as if you are practicing in your dreams, refining your performance without ever lifting a finger. Athletes, musicians, and scientists alike benefit from this hidden rehearsal, their skills sharpened by the silent hours of night. The suspense lies in how selective this process is. Your brain doesn't record every detail. It chooses, prioritizes, and reshapes. Sometimes, insignificant moments are discarded, while other times, small fragments are elevated into lasting memories. Have you ever noticed how certain insights come suddenly in the morning, as if whispered to you in sleep? That's your brain weaving connections, sorting data, and delivering answers just when you least expect them. Consider how sleep impacts intelligence in ways beyond memory. Creativity flourishes in the night, as the brain loosens its rigid rules and allows distant concepts to collide. The boundary between logic and imagination softens, allowing new solutions to emerge. Some of the greatest scientific discoveries, artistic breakthroughs, and inventions have roots in this hidden process, where the brain's nocturnal theater experiments, recombines, and refines. There's also an emotional intelligence shaped by sleep. Inadequate rest leaves the amygdala, the brain's emotional center, overactive. But with deep, restorative sleep, the prefrontal cortex, the rational guide, restores balance, allowing for clearer thinking, better decision-making, and a calmer mind. Sleep is not only the teacher of facts, but also the healer of emotions, a gentle instructor that helps you understand yourself and others. Imagine your dreams as a rehearsal for social interaction. Your brain tests scenarios, explores relationships, and refines empathy. Subconsciously, you practice understanding, compassion, and responses to complex situations. Though you may forget the specifics upon waking, the lessons remain, enriching your intelligence in subtle ways. It's a hidden curriculum, teaching lessons that can't be measured in textbooks, but are vital to navigating life. Did you know that even intuition is shaped by sleep? As the brain consolidates patterns, it strengthens your ability to recognize subtle cues and predict outcomes. That sudden gut feeling, that flash of understanding, may be the fruit of hours of silent integration beneath closed eyelids. Intelligence is not always about logic. Sometimes it is about seeing connections too subtle to explain. And sleep is the silent tutor that nurtures this gift. Reflect on the poetic elegance of this hidden influence. Each night, your mind is both a classroom and a stage, where memories are rehearsed, ideas are tested, and intelligence evolves. The silent librarians, the sculptors, the artists, and the counselors all work together in harmony, ensuring that when you wake, you are not only rested, but wiser, more resilient, and more attuned to the mysteries of your own mind. And now, as your breathing steadies and your awareness drifts, imagine yourself as a student in this secret school of night. Every neuron, every dream, every silent rehearsal is a lesson written just for you. Feel the gentle suspense of hidden knowledge being shaped, stored, and revealed, knowing that even as you rest, you are learning, growing, and expanding in ways unseen. Soon, we will wander into another module, one that explores how the rhythms of sleep are guided by ancient evolutionary forces, connecting you not only to your own body, but to the survival of your species across millennia. But for now, let the quiet intelligence of your brain comfort you, reminding you that tonight, as always, the hidden influence of sleep is guiding you toward growth, wisdom, and renewal. Have you ever wondered why humans sleep at all? Why evolution, which is so efficient, so ruthless in its pruning of unnecessary behaviors, preserved this strange state of vulnerability in the darkness of night? Early humans closed their eyes, lowered their defenses, and entered a world of dreams. Yet they survived, thrived, and evolved. What hidden advantage does sleep give us, and why has it endured for millions of years? Tonight, we step into the evolutionary story of sleep, a tale of survival, mystery, and timeless adaptation. Picture yourself in an ancient forest, the canopy thick and shadowed. The night air hums with the distant cries of predators, rustling leaves, and the slow rhythm of insects. Early humans huddled together, their fires burning low, bodies curled in stillness, eyes closed. It seems almost reckless, this surrender to unconsciousness. Yet, within this nightly ritual lay the seeds, creativity, and resilience. The very act of sleep was never a weakness, but an evolutionary strategy. Scientists believe that sleep's earliest purpose was restoration. Even the simplest life forms display rest-like states. A jellyfish, with no brain, still cycles through periods of reduced activity, suggesting that the roots of sleep are ancient, stretching back hundreds of millions of years. This universality is a clue, pointing to sleep as something too vital to lose, too embedded in the fabric of survival to be discarded by natural selection. As species evolved, the function of sleep grew more complex. For predators, such as lions, sleep could stretch for long hours, safely enjoyed at the top of the food chain. For prey animals, such as deer, rest came in lighter, shorter bursts. A compromise between restoration and vigilance. Humans occupy a fascinating middle ground. Our ancestors balanced the dangers of predators with the need for cognitive growth. And from this balance emerged a unique sleep pattern, deep enough to heal, yet flexible enough to adapt. Have you ever noticed how the cycles of sleep resemble the cycles of day and night? The circadian rhythm, our biological clock, evolved in tandem with the rising and setting of the sun. Ancient humans, like all animals, were bound to this rhythm. The light of day signaled activity, gathering, and hunting. The darkness signaled retreat, rest, and protection. Yet sleep was more than just a response to light. It became a laboratory of the mind, a place where evolution sculpted intelligence. During sleep, the brain rehearsed survival. Dreams may once have functioned as simulations, testing scenarios of flight, danger, or problem-solving. Imagine an early human dreaming of a predator's approach, rehearsing the fear, the response, the escape. Such rehearsal could sharpen instincts in waking life, turning imagined survival into real preparedness. In this sense, dreams may have been one of the first evolutionary tools of foresight. There is suspense in the idea that our intelligence itself may have been nurtured by sleep. Memory consolidation allowed lessons of the day: how to track prey, how to recognize safe plants, how to avoid danger, to embed deeply in the brain. The combination of deep sleep and REM created a cycle of learning, rehearsing, and imagining over thousands of generations. This nightly process expanded human cognition, language, and culture. Sleep, rather than being a passive state, was an engine of evolution. Consider the communal aspect of early human sleep, groups huddled together, some resting deeply while others kept lighter watch. This balance of vigilance and restoration allowed tribes to survive the night, strengthening social bonds and reinforcing cooperation. Even now, we see echoes of this pattern. Some of us are night owls, others are early risers. Together, these chronotypes may once have ensured that someone was always alert. Sleep was not just an individual act, but a social rhythm that safeguarded survival. Did you know that the very architecture of human sleep is unusual compared to other primates? We sleep fewer hours, but in deeper, more consolidated cycles. Evolution compressed and intensified our rest, giving us efficiency in recovery and more time awake to learn, hunt, and build. This efficiency may have been one of the keys that unlocked our ability to dominate our environment, to craft tools, to share stories, and to plan beyond the moment. There is also a fascinating theory known as the Sentinel hypothesis, suggesting that humans evolved to sleep lightly at certain times, rotating who in a group would drift into the deepest sleep. This ensured that danger was less likely to catch everyone unaware. The fact that modern humans still display a range of sleep depths and patterns may be a legacy of this ancient survival strategy, carried forward in our genes. Reflect on how sleep is not merely a human phenomenon, but a thread connecting us to all living creatures. Birds, mammals, reptiles, and even insects all show patterns of rest. Some dolphins and whales sleep with half their brain at a time, keeping one eye open to watch for threats. Evolution did not eliminate sleep in any species. Instead, it shaped it, molded it, and preserved it, confirming that sleep is as necessary as food, water, and air. The poetic beauty of this evolutionary story is that while sleep began as survival, it blossomed into something greater. It became the fertile ground of imagination, the caretaker of memory, the healer of emotion, and the quiet force that allowed culture, language, and intelligence to thrive each night when you close your eyes. You are reenacting an ancient ritual, one that bound your ancestors together in firelit circles, one that shaped the destiny of humankind. And now, as your body relaxes and your breath steadies, imagine yourself part of this vast lineage, stretching back through countless generations. Each ancestor who survived the night, who dreamed, who learned, contributed to your existence. Sleep is not just your rest. It is a story of survival written into your DNA, a whisper from the past, reminding you that vulnerability was never weakness, but the pathway to wisdom. Soon we will move to another module, exploring how the night sky itself, the stars, the cycles of the moon, and the shifting constellations have influenced human sleep and imagination. For now, let yourself sink deeper, comforted by the knowledge that every breath, every dream, every moment of rest connects you to an ancient survival story, a story still unfolding each night within you. Have you ever wondered why the night sky has always held such power over the human spirit? Why our ancestors, long before the first books, before the first cities, tilted their heads back to the heavens and felt both fear and comfort at the same time? When the world below was cloaked in darkness, it was the stars and the moon that painted the canvas of the night, guiding, watching, whispering mysteries across generations. Could it be that the very patterns of our sleep, our dreams, and our sense of time were shaped by these glowing companions? Picture yourself standing in an ancient clearing. Thousands of years ago, the air is still. The forest behind you hums with unseen creatures. But your gaze is lifted upward. The sky is so dark it looks endless, pierced by a river of stars stretching across it. The Milky Way shining like a pathway of fire. The moon glows full and silver, bathing the earth in a cold but gentle light. In that moment, you feel smaller than a grain of sand, yet somehow tethered to something infinitely vast. This nightly sky was not just a backdrop. It was a clock, a calendar, a map, and a storybook written in light for early humans. The stars were the first teachers of rhythm. The rising and setting of constellations told them when to plant, when to hunt, when to migrate. The moon's phases became markers of time, slicing the months into cycles of waxing and waning. Have you noticed how even today, many cultures still measure time by lunar calendars? That instinct, that connection, comes from an ancient truth. Our sleep and wake cycles were shaped by these cosmic patterns. The moon, in particular, has a strange influence on us. Scientists have discovered that human sleep subtly changes with the phases of the moon. During a full moon, people tend to fall asleep later and sleep less deeply. Even in modern cities, where artificial light drowns out the sky, this suggests something primal within us still listens to the pull of lunar cycles. It is as though our bodies remember nights when the full moon meant greater visibility, greater danger from predators, or perhaps more opportunity to hunt or gather under silver light. There is suspense in imagining that the stars themselves may have whispered into our dreams. Dreams often draw upon imagery of light, of journeys through landscapes that echo the heavens. What if the human imagination, the stories of gods, heroes, and myths was first seeded by sleep beneath the night sky, when early humans dreamed of flying, of chasing lights, of battles in the heavens? Perhaps it was the constellations themselves planting images into the subconscious. Think of the constellations: Orion the hunter, the Pleiades cluster, the Great Bear. To us today, they are patterns in stars, but to ancient eyes, they were living stories etched into eternity. At night, while Bodhis slept near the fire, shamans and storytellers looked upward and carried these shapes into the dream world. From there, they passed into myth, into ritual, into culture. Sleep became not only a time of restoration, but also a time of connection to the cosmic theater above. Did you know that even navigation itself was born from sleepless nights beneath the stars, long before compasses? Sailors charted the oceans by Polaris, the North Star. Entire civilizations trusted their survival to patterns of light in the sky. Imagine drifting across dark seas, the sound of waves beneath. Your only guide, the glittering sky above. What courage it must have taken to close one's eyes in such a setting. And yet how reassuring to know that the stars would always be there upon waking. But there is another mystery: the connection between starlight and melatonin, the hormone that governs our sleep. The absence of artificial light in ancient times meant that the only interruptions to the deep dark of night came from firelight, moonlight, or starlight. This natural rhythm aligned the body to cosmic patterns. The pineal gland, a tiny structure deep in the brain, has long been associated with sensing light. Some traditions even called it the third eye, a mystical organ of perception. Could it be that as our ancestors lay beneath the stars, their very biology was tuned to the heavens? And then there is the silence of night, that strange quiet that allows whispers of the universe to seep into the mind. When you stand beneath the stars, don't you feel both small and infinite? That paradox is not just poetry, it is psychology. The night sky has always triggered awe, and awe itself has measurable effects on the brain. It lowers stress, slows heart rate, and creates a sense of timelessness, all of which prepare the body for deeper, more restorative sleep. The moon adds another layer of suspense to this story. Across cultures, it has been linked to mystery, transformation, and dreams, from werewolf legends to lunar goddesses. The moon was never just a light in the sky, but a character in the human imagination. Even modern science hints at lunar effects, tidal rhythms, hormonal shifts, sleep disturbances. The moon pulls at the Earth's oceans, but perhaps it also pulls at the tides within us, the hidden waters of the mind. Now imagine again that clearing. You lie down on the ground, your eyes still drawn upward. The fire beside you crackles low, but above, the stars blaze with endless brilliance. Slowly your eyelids grow heavy, and yet, in your drifting state, the sky seems to seep into your dreams. You walk across the Milky Way, touch the glowing surface of the moon, speak with constellations that bend into living beings. Your dream feels not imagined but gifted, as though the cosmos itself reached down to sculpt your inner visions. This is the poetry of sleep beneath the stars, the sense that we are not only observers of the universe, but participants in its ongoing story. Every dream you have ever dreamed may carry a fragment of starlight, a memory of nights your ancestors spent gazing upward in wonder. To sleep is to fall into the same rhythm as the heavens, a rhythm older than humanity, older even than the earth. For the atoms that make up your body were born in stars, forged in explosions that lit up the galaxies. When you close your eyes, you return, in some hidden way, to the place from which you came. And so, as you rest tonight, remember that the stars above are not distant strangers. They are your relatives, your origins, your cosmic kin. The moon's glow that calms you is the same light that guided countless generations before you. Every breath you take, every dream you enter, is part of a cosmic rhythm that stretches far beyond a single life. You are not just lying in your room, drifting into sleep. You are floating on a tide of starlight, rocked gently by the pull of the moon. Soon we will journey further, deeper into the science and mystery of sleep, exploring how time itself bends and shifts when we dream, and how the mind creates entire worlds while the body rests. For now, let the stars above keep watch. Let the moon cradle you in silver, and let your dreams remind you that you are not only human, but a child of the cosmos, held safely in its eternal embrace. Have you ever wondered what truly happens when you slip into a dream? Why the worlds you visit feel so vivid, so real, and yet vanish the moment you wake? It is almost as if dreams are doors, fragile doors that open into alternate realities. For centuries, people have whispered that dreams are more than illusions. that they are messages, gateways, even glimpses into lives unlived. Could it be that every night, as you rest, you are stepping into an infinite theater, where your mind is both the architect and the traveler? Picture yourself walking through a quiet hallway lined with countless doors. Each door is different, some carved with intricate symbols, some glowing softly, others plain and unremarkable. You place your hand on one, and it swings open with no effort at all. Beyond it lies a landscape you could never have imagined. A forest of shimmering glass, a city suspended in the clouds, or perhaps a simple memory from long ago replayed with surreal detail the moment you step through. You are no longer a sleeper in your bed, but a wanderer in another world. This is the feeling of a dream, both familiar and alien. Science tells us that dreams occur mainly during REM sleep, when the brain becomes almost as active as it is while awake. The difference is that the body is paralyzed, a protective mechanism that prevents us from acting out what we experience. It is during this state that the mind weaves together fragments of memory, emotion, and imagination, stitching them into vivid narratives. Did you know that the brain's visual centers light up during dreams as though you were truly seeing? Its emotional centers surge with activity, which is why dreams often feel so intense, so drenched in meaning. But here is where the suspense deepens. How can a sleeping brain, cut off from the outside world, create experiences so real they rival waking life? In some dreams, you taste food, you hear voices, you even feel textures beneath your fingertips. Your mind convinces you utterly, transporting you into worlds that vanish like smoke in the morning. And yet, some people have reported dreaming of things they could not have known, symbols, even future events. Stories of prophetic dreams have been told since ancient times. And though science offers explanations in probability and coincidence, the mystery lingers. Dreams are also a puzzle of self. Psychologists describe them as mirrors of the unconscious, fragments of thought and desire bubbling up from the depths. When you dream of falling, of flying, of being chased, perhaps your mind is rehearsing survival, practicing responses to danger without the cost of real-world consequences. When you dream of loved ones or of people long gone, perhaps your mind is preserving the bonds that define you. Science explains dreams as simulations, but the experience feels far more profound. There is a phenomenon called lucid dreaming, in which the dreamer realizes they are dreaming. In this state, the dream world can be shaped and bent at will. Imagine soaring over oceans, walking into the stars, or rewriting a painful memory with a gentler ending, all while knowing that your body lies safe and still beneath blankets. Lucid dreaming blurs the boundary between sleep and waking consciousness, hinting that the mind may be far more powerful than we suspect. Did you know that some cultures trained their people in lucid dreaming as a form of spiritual practice? Tibetan monks, for example, saw it as a way to prepare for the afterlife, practicing awareness even in states beyond control. And then there are the recurring dreams, the ones that return again and again. Have you had one? A place you've never visited but somehow recognize. A situation that repeats in subtle variations. Some scientists suggest these are unresolved loops in the mind. Yet others wonder if they represent something stranger. What if recurring dreams are not just products of memory, but echoes from alternate versions of you? Parallel lives playing out in tandem in this sense. Your dream self might not be imaginary, but a reflection of another reality glimpsed briefly in the night. Consider the stories of shared dreams, people who wake to find they experienced the same symbols, the same landscapes, even the same conversations. Skeptics argue coincidence, yet the sheer number of such reports cannot be ignored. It raises the question: when we dream, do we drift into private illusions? Or do we step into a collective field of imagination that connects all minds? If so, then your dreams tonight may overlap with mine, weaving threads into a vast unseen tapestry. And what of nightmares? They are the most unsettling of all. Vivid and often terrifying, they shake us awake in the dark with pounding hearts. Yet they too serve a purpose. Scientists believe nightmares train us for survival, forcing us to rehearse danger. But others whisper that nightmares are visits from something deeper, archetypes of shadow and fear rising to remind us of truths we avoid in ancient cultures. Nightmares were sometimes seen as messages from spirits or warnings from gods. Today, though, we speak in terms of neurons and chemicals. The haunting power of a nightmare feels no less real. Dreams are also tied to creativity. Did you know that many scientific breakthroughs and artistic masterpieces began in dreams? The chemist Kekule dreamed of a serpent biting its tail, which inspired the discovery of the benzene ring. Paul McCartney heard the melody of Yesterday in a dream, and Mary Shelley claimed Frankenstein came from a vision while half asleep. These moments suggest that dreams are not random noise, but a hidden workshop where the mind solves problems, connects ideas, and creates in ways we cannot when awake. Now imagine yourself drifting into sleep tonight. You close your eyes and feel the boundary between waking and dreaming grow thin. You do not fall into darkness, but into light, into landscapes that unfold around you. A door opens, and you step through. You see someone you love, though they may be far away. You walk through a street you have never known, yet you feel you belong there. You speak with voices that come not from memory, but from somewhere beyond. In this dream world, reality bends and truth is fluid, and you are free to wander as you please. The poetic truth is this: dreams remind us that reality is not fixed, that our lives are not bound by the limits we believe. Each night, the mind whispers that other worlds are possible, and that perhaps, just perhaps, the universe itself is vaster and stranger than we dare imagine. Your dreams are not empty. They are alive with meaning. They may be personal, they may be archetypal, they may even be cosmic, but they are never insignificant. So tonight, as you drift, allow yourself to welcome the dream. Do not worry about its meaning. Do not cling to its story. Simply walk through the door it offers. Let the dream carry you, soothe you, surprise you, and teach you in that hidden theater. You are both creator and audience, both the question and the answer. And when you wake, whether you remember or forget, know this: you touched something eternal, a place where the self dissolves and remakes itself endlessly. Sleep may end in the morning, but dreams are timeless, always waiting, always whispering. Soon, we will explore the mystery of time itself and how sleep bends the hours into shapes that defy logic. But for now, let the dream be your companion. Let it guide you deeper, softer, safer, into rest. Have you ever noticed how strange time feels when you dream? In waking life, time is a strict master, ticking forward in steady, unyielding steps. But when you drift into sleep, the rules dissolve. Minutes can stretch into eternities, and hours can vanish in the blink of an eye. A dream that feels like a lifetime may occupy only a few seconds of brain activity, while a night of sleep may pass in what seems like a single breath. This bending of time is one of the most mysterious aspects of human experience, and yet we encounter it every single night. Picture yourself sitting beside a campfire, the flames crackling as the night stretches around you. You look up at the stars, and suddenly you find yourself in a dream. In that dream, you travel across deserts, you meet strangers, you climb mountains, and you live whole days within the dream world. When you awaken, only minutes have passed. The fire is still glowing, the stars unchanged, and yet you have carried the weight of days within a single heartbeat. Science tells us that the perception of time is not absolute. Even in waking life, it is a construct of the brain, an interpretation shaped by attention, emotion, and memory. When you are bored, time crawls. When you are joyful, it flies. But in dreams, the distortion magnifies. The mind no longer has the rhythm of clocks, sunlight, or heartbeat patterns to measure moments. Instead, it builds its own tempo, weaving sequences of experience that feel real but are untethered from the physical world. During REM sleep, the brain's activity mirrors wakefulness, but the order of events is no longer bound by real-world cause and effect. That is why, in dreams, you may begin in one place and suddenly find yourself elsewhere. With no memory of the journey, you may speak to someone who changes into another person mid-conversation. You may experience a sunrise and a storm in the same instant. All of this happens because time in dreams is not linear, is elastic, flowing in spirals, loops, and folds. But here is where the suspense deepens. If the brain can create the illusion of hours, days, or even years within a dream, what does this say about consciousness itself? Could it be that time is less of a universal constant and more of a fragile fabric woven by awareness? There are reports of dreamers who claim to have lived entire lifetimes within dreams. They recall details of careers, families, even decades of memory, only to awaken to their familiar lives. Imagine the shock, the strangeness, the haunting sense that perhaps the dream world is not so different from waking reality after all. Did you know that experiments in sleep labs have shown that dreamers can sometimes communicate across the boundary of sleep? In lucid dreaming studies, participants were able to signal with prearranged eye movements. The surprising part is that the signals matched the length of real-world seconds. This suggests that at least part of the dreaming mind still tracks real time, while the dream narrative itself stretches and bends around it. Like a river winding through valleys, the current of real seconds flows beneath, but the dream creates vast oceans and mountains on top. Think of how cinema or literature can bend time in a movie. A single cut can take you from a child to an old man in a moment. In a novel, one page may describe a day, while another covers centuries. Dreams are much the same. Your mind is the storyteller, shifting time as it pleases, condensing long journeys into brief impressions, expanding fleeting seconds into endless sagas. The difference is that in dreams, you are not just reading the story, you are living it, feeling it, believing it utterly. There is also a mystery in how the brain encodes memory during sleep. Sometimes a dream that feels long and elaborate vanishes instantly upon waking, leaving no trace. Other times, a short fragment lingers with such intensity that it haunts you for years. Memory and time are linked, and dreams may reveal how fragile both truly are. If a dream lifetime can vanish in the blink of an eye, then what is the difference between a memory and an illusion? Between a night's dream and the story you tell yourself about your waking life? Philosophers have asked, what if waking life itself is another kind of dream, governed by rules we assume to be constant? What if our sense of time here is just as fragile, just as constructed as it is in dreams? After all, even in the waking world, our experience of time is not uniform. Extreme fear can slow it, extreme joy can erase it, meditation can dissolve it, and grief can stretch it endlessly. Could it be that consciousness does not move through time, but instead creates time as it moves? Imagine yourself in a dream tonight. You find yourself standing in an ancient city, its towers stretching toward the sky. You walk its streets. You speak with its people. You live among them. Days turn to months, and months to years. You fall in love. You build a life. You grow old then. In an instant, you awaken in your bed. The city gone, the years vanished. And yet the emotions remain, as real as any you have felt. Was that life any less real because it ended with your eyes opening? There are dreamers who awaken with knowledge they did not possess before, solutions to problems, inspirations for art, scientific insights. It is as though the mind, freed from linear time, is able to leap across gaps that waking thought. Einstein himself spoke of daydreams and sleep reveries as sparks for his theories. He imagined riding on beams of light, a dreamlike vision that led to the theory of relativity. Perhaps the elasticity of time in dreams allows the mind to stretch beyond ordinary limits. And what of the afterlife? In many traditions, dreams are seen as rehearsals for death, a slipping out of time and body. Some describe near-death experiences where minutes of unconsciousness feel like journeys across vast landscapes. Could it be that in the moments at the end of life, the brain grants us not seconds, but entire eternities, a final dream that expands endlessly before dissolving into mystery? The poetic truth is this: time is not a cage. It is a canvas in waking life. The brushstrokes are steady, measured, tied to the ticking of clocks. In dreams, the strokes swirl and twist, creating shapes that cannot exist in daylight. Both are real, both shape who we are, and both remind us that reality is far stranger than it appears. So, tonight, as you close your eyes, do not fear the bending of hours. Trust that your mind will carry you through landscapes both vast and fleeting. Know that the time you spend in dreams is not wasted. It is a hidden gift, a secret expansion of life itself. When you awaken, the clock may show that only a few hours have passed, but in your inner world, you may have traveled lifetimes. Soon we will explore how memory, emotion, and biology weave together in the hidden symphony of dreams. For now, let yourself drift, knowing that in sleep, time is your companion, not your master, and that every second you rest may unfold into infinite worlds, waiting quietly for you. Have you ever listened closely to silence? The deep kind of silence that fills a dark room at night. At first, it feels empty, but soon, if you listen carefully, you begin to notice patterns. The steady rhythm of your breath, the gentle pulse of your heartbeat, perhaps even a faint ringing in your ears. That silence is not empty at all, it is full of hidden rhythms. And inside your head, within the folds of your brain, an even greater symphony is being played, a symphony that continues whether you are awake or asleep. Picture your brain as an endless orchestra. Billions of neurons are the instruments, each sending tiny electrical sparks like plucked strings or struck drums. When you are awake, the music is fast, full of sharp crescendos and quick transitions. Thoughts race, decisions form, the tempo rises. But when you drift into sleep, the orchestra does not fall silent. Instead, it shifts into another key, slower, deeper, more resonant. Waves ripple across the brain in synchrony, whole regions rising and falling together like choirs breathing in unison. It is a hidden music, inaudible yet essential. Scientists call these patterns brainwaves, and each has its own rhythm. Delta waves are the slow, thunderous drums of deep sleep. Their beat is steady and strong, guiding the body into restoration. Theta waves are softer, like distant flutes, weaving through the twilight states of drowsiness and dream. Alpha waves shimmer like gentle strings, humming when the mind is calm and drifting. And then there are beta and gamma waves, rapid and sparkling, often quieting during sleep, but sometimes flickering when the mind dreams vividly. Together, these waves form a symphony that keeps you alive, balanced, and dreaming. But here lies the suspense. For a long time, scientists believed sleep was simply a passive state, a quiet interlude. Yet research reveals something extraordinary. The sleeping brain is not idle. It is composing, rehearsing, and performing complex symphonies that rival the activity of waking life. Your memories are replayed like motifs in a grand piece of music, repeating, strengthening, weaving into harmony. Emotional notes are softened, dissonance resolved. As the brain fine-tunes the melody of your inner life, dreams are like improvisations, bursts of creative solos rising above the steady rhythm of waves. Imagine lying beneath a great cathedral dome, hearing choirs rise and fall, voices echoing into the heights. That is what your brain does. Each night it creates cathedrals of sound. Though no ear can hear them, these waves ripple across networks of neurons, creating crescendos in some areas while others rest. Sometimes they synchronize across both hemispheres of the brain, like violins and cellos mirroring each other. Other times they break into counterpoint, different rhythms weaving together in complex, beautiful ways. And did you know? Your heartbeat and breath also join this orchestra. In deep sleep, your pulse slows, your breath steadies, creating a tempo that aligns with the brain's slow waves. This entrainment is like a conductor guiding the ensemble, ensuring the rhythm of life continues seamlessly. Even your hormones follow the score. Melatonin rises as darkness falls. Cortisol eases away stress. growth hormones, repair tissues. All of them enter the symphony, playing their part in the night's composition. There is mystery, too, in how external sounds sometimes blend with the brain's music. Have you ever dreamed of waves only to awaken to the sound of rain outside? Or heard voices in your dreams that echoed the muffled noise of the real world? It is as though your brain, half aware, takes these notes and weaves them into its performance. Dreams borrow the instruments of waking life, folding them into the nocturnal symphony. Some scientists now speak of the glymphatic system, a cleansing process that flows most powerfully during deep sleep. Imagine rivers running through the concert hall of your brain, washing away waste proteins and chemical clutter, clearing the stage for tomorrow's performance. Without this nightly cleaning, the orchestra falters, instruments go out of tune, and the harmony of thought breaks down. Sleep, in this sense, is maintenance not just for the body, but for the music of the mind itself. Yet, beyond the science, there is something poetic here. If your brain is an orchestra, then your dreams are the symphony's secret movements. Hidden compositions performed in the shadows. No audience but you will ever hear them, and even you will forget most of them upon waking. Like music that fades with the dawn, but for a few precious hours each night. The concert plays, immense, intricate, beautiful. Consider the strange moments of synchronicity. Have you ever awakened just before your alarm, as if your brain knew the rhythm was about to change? Or found yourself drifting to sleep to the sound of a lullaby, feeling your inner music align with the song? Cultures across the world have always recognized the connection between music and sleep. Lullabies, chants, drums, and hymns are echoes of the same truth. The mind finds comfort when rhythms align. And here is where the suspense deepens. What if the music of your brain is not confined to you alone? Some researchers suggest that when groups of people sleep in the same space, their rhythms subtly influence one another. Like orchestras tuning to a single key, the waves may align, creating a shared harmony. If this is true, then the music of the brain is not just personal, but collective. A hidden symphony that connects us, even in slumber. Now imagine, as you drift deeper into rest tonight, that you are lying not in silence, but within a vast hall of music. Neurons spark like strings being plucked, waves rise and fall like timpani, and your breath is the steady pulse of a drum. You are both the orchestra and the listener, both the composer and the audience. Every note is created within you, yet it surrounds you, cradles you, and carries you toward peace. The poetic truth is this: you are made of rhythm. From the beating of your heart in the womb to the cycles of sleep you enter each night, your life is measured not only by clocks, but by music, a music that never stops. Sleep is simply when the melody changes, softens, deepens, and carries you into hidden landscapes. The concert never ends, it only shifts from one movement to the next. So tonight, as you close your eyes, do not think of silence, think of hidden music. Let the waves of your brain become your lullaby. Let the orchestra of your body carry you into dreams. In this symphony, there is no rush, no stress, only harmony. And when you awaken, the music will rise again, ready for another day's performance. Soon, we will explore how memory itself is sculpted in sleep, how the stories you tell yourself are written and rewritten in the dark. For now, Let the hidden music play. Let it soothe you. Let it guide you. Let it remind you that within you is a song as old as time, playing softly as you drift. Have you ever wondered what happens to all the countless moments of your day? The conversations, the laughter, the quiet thoughts, the stray emotions. They don't simply vanish into the void. Instead, each one leaves an imprint, fragile at first, like wet footprints on a beach. And every night, when you drift into sleep, your brain becomes something remarkable, a sculptor, chiseling and carving the raw stone of your experiences into lasting memories. Picture yourself walking through a vast gallery. The walls are endless, lined with sculptures, paintings, and tapestries. Some are sharp and vivid, others blurry and faint. Some you recognize instantly: your childhood bedroom, your best friend's voice, your first taste of ice cream. Others you cannot name, though they still shape the way you think and act. This gallery is your memory, and each night while you sleep, it is being rearranged, repaired, and expanded. Scientists used to believe memory worked like a camera, snapping images and storing them in neat boxes. But the truth is far stranger and more fascinating. Memories are alive, dynamic, fluid when you are awake. Your brain captures fragments: the smell of coffee, the feel of rain on your skin, the tension of a conversation. Yet these fragments are incomplete. They are rough sketches waiting to be transformed. And it is during sleep, especially in the deep stages, that the sculpting begins. Inside the hippocampus's seahorse-shaped structure, deep in the brain, your day's experiences are first gathered. Imagine the hippocampus as a temporary notebook filled with messy scribbles. But scribbles alone cannot last during sleep. Particularly during slow wave cycles, the hippocampus begins replaying the day over and over, like a pianist rehearsing a piece. Each replay strengthens connections in the neocortex, shifting the fragile sketch into something more permanent. The brain is essentially telling itself a story until it becomes part of you. And here is where the suspense lies. Not every memory survives. Some are chosen to endure, others quietly erased. Your brain acts like a curator, deciding which pieces deserve to stay in the gallery and which should fade into dust. Did you know that trivial details like what color socks you wore yesterday are usually discarded, while emotionally significant moments are polished and displayed? Sleep becomes an editor, cutting scenes, highlighting themes, and rewriting your life narrative every single night. Now imagine, as you sleep, armies of neurons sparking in coordinated bursts. Scientists call these sharp wave ripples tiny flashes of memory replay that occur within the hippocampus. They are like whispers echoing through the night, reminding the brain of what must not be forgotten. In those whispers, the memory of a conversation with a loved one, a lesson you studied, or a fear you faced may be replayed dozens of times. Each replay strengthens the pathways, turning fragile footprints into stone-carved steps. Dreams themselves often emerge from this process. When the brain replays fragments, it sometimes stitches them together into surreal mosaics. Have you ever dreamed of a place that blends your school with your workplace? Or spoken to someone long gone in a dream that felt startlingly real? These dreams are not random. They are the byproducts of sculpting, the brain reshuffling and recombining pieces of your life into new configurations. Some scientists even suggest this creative blending helps problem solving, allowing us to see connections that waking logic cannot. There is another layer to this mystery. Sleep not only strengthens memories, but also weakens others. Think of a sculptor chipping away stone that doesn't belong. This process is called synaptic pruning, and it ensures that the gallery does not overflow with useless clutter. Without pruning, the brain would drown in too much noise, cluttered with every forgotten password, every meaningless glance. Instead, sleep carefully removes what no longer serves, leaving behind clarity. Yet what makes this even more suspenseful is how memories can change during sleep. They are not frozen snapshots, but malleable clay. Experiments show that when people learn something and then sleep, their recall is often improved but sometimes altered. The brain doesn't just preserve memories, it edits them, smoothing rough edges, merging them with old knowledge, even reshaping how we feel about them. A painful memory may soften, an inspiring one may grow brighter. Sleep does not merely keep the past, it transforms it. Now let's step into the poetic. Your memories are the stories of your life, written not in ink but in electrical sparks. Every night, sleep is the editor, deciding which chapters to emphasize and which to fade. In this way, your identity itself is sculpted in the dark. The person you wake up as tomorrow is never quite the same as the person who lay down to rest. You are renewed not only in body, but in story. Think of the countless ancestors who lay beneath starlit skies, drifting into dreams, their brains to sculpted memories, preserving knowledge of fire, of tools, of stories that would one day become civilization. Without this nightly work, humanity could not have learned, grown, or survived. The gallery of memory is not just personal, it is collective, a chain of sculpted stories stretching back through time. Each night you sleep, you are participating in the same silent ritual that has guided humans for thousands of years. And yet, there are mysteries unsolved. Why do some dreams feel prophetic, as though the brain reveals truths we have not yet seen? Why do traumatic memories sometimes refuse to fade, replaying in endless loops despite sleep's editing? Scientists still search for these answers, but perhaps part of the beauty lies in not knowing, in recognizing that the sculptor works in ways we cannot fully understand. Tonight, as you rest, remember that your brain is not idle. It is chiseling the stone of your day, smoothing the rough edges, polishing the brightest details, carving your experiences into the gallery of your life. Some memories will remain for years, others will vanish before morning. Yet each is part of the process, part of the quiet miracle of becoming who you are. So let go of worry. You don't need to remember every detail of this story. Your brain will take what matters and let the rest drift away. Trust the sculptor within you. Trust the hidden hands of sleep. For even now, as you drift closer to dreams, your story is being rewritten in the most delicate and mysterious of ways. And when you awaken, you will carry forward the newest version of yourself, sculpted gently, secretly, beautifully in the night. Soon, we will explore how emotions themselves are healed and reshaped during sleep, how the storms of the heart find calm in the dreaming mind. But for now, let the sculptor work. Let the chisel fall in silence. Let your gallery be tended in peace. Have you ever wondered why a broken heart feels softer after a night's rest? or why a stressful day sometimes feels less heavy by morning. Sleep has a hidden gift, a form of alchemy, where raw emotions are melted down, reshaped, and tempered into something lighter, something we can carry tonight. We step into the secret workshop of the sleeping brain, where fear, joy, and sorrow are transformed. Picture yourself standing before a great furnace. The air is warm, the flames glowing with colors of gold and blue. In your hands you hold a heavy piece of iron, jagged and sharp. This iron is your fear, your anger, your grief. The furnace before you is your dreaming mind, and as you close your eyes, the iron begins to melt, the heat softening its edges until what once cut and weighed you down becomes malleable, bendable, ready to be reshaped. Scientists have discovered that during sleep, especially REM sleep, the stage where vivid dreams appear, the brain replays emotional experiences from the day. But here's the miracle. These memories are reactivated without the flood of stress, chemicals like norepinephrine that make them overwhelming when you're awake. It's as if the brain gives you a chance to feel your emotions in safety, without the sting of panic or despair. In this protected state, you can process sorrow, revisit joy, and rehearse fears, gently draining their intensity. Think about the last time you faced something painful, a fight with someone you love, a failure that burned in your chest, or even a frightening movie that left you shaken. When you fell asleep that night, your brain began its quiet work, replaying fragments of that experience. But instead of fueling terror or shame, your mind allowed you to process it. Like a writer revising a story, the sharp edges dulled, the weight eased. By morning, the wound might still be there, but lighter, easier to carry. Have you noticed how dreams often weave in emotions from waking life? A lost loved one appears, speaking words they never had the chance to say. A stressful meeting replays in exaggerated ways, a crowd watching as you stumble. These dreams are not random, they are your brain's theater of healing. Each scene allows emotions to be felt, reshaped, and integrated. Dreams are the rehearsal stage where sorrows can be mourned, fears can be rehearsed, and joys can be amplified. The suspense lies in how this emotional alchemy shapes who we become. Without sleep, the amygdala, the brain's alarm bell, remains hyperactive, like a smoke detector that never stops shrieking. But with restful sleep, especially REM, the prefrontal cortex, the rational voice, reconnects with the amygdala, taming its overreactions. This is why sleep-deprived people are more likely to feel anxious, irritable, or even hopeless. The absence of sleep means the furnace never cools the iron, and we are left carrying burdens too heavy for waking life alone. Did you know that joy, too, is sculpted in the night? Memories of laughter, of music, of simple moments of beauty are replayed during sleep, their colors made brighter, their warmth preserved. Sleep helps us protect our happiest moments so they last longer. Have you ever woken up with a lingering sense of happiness from a dream, as if your heart remembered something your mind could not? That is the brain's way of gifting you an echo of joy, a reminder that light still lives within. There is something poetic in this. Sleep is not only the caretaker of the mind, but the healer of the heart. It works in silence, taking what was unbearable and softening it, taking what was precious and protecting it. Without this process, sorrow might drown us, Fear might paralyze us. Joy might slip too easily away. But night after night, we are given this gift. Now imagine the weight of grief. Scientists studying trauma victims have found that REM sleep plays a vital role in reducing the sharpness of traumatic memories, allowing people to revisit them in dreams without reliving the full horror. It is as though the brain dips the memory into a soft filter, preserving the facts but washing away the unbearable sting. In this way, sleep becomes a therapy we all receive for free, a nightly session with the most patient counselor in existence. And yet, not all sorrows are softened in one night. Some wounds take many nights, many dreams, to reshape. Think of a blacksmith hammering iron. One strike cannot form the blade, but repetition, heat, and patience can transform it. So too does your dreaming brain strike gently, night after night, reshaping fear into resilience, sorrow into acceptance, joy into gratitude. Have you ever woken with a sudden sense of clarity, as if your heart has quietly resolved something your mind struggled with for days? That is emotional alchemy at work. In the stillness of your sleep, solutions appear. Forgiveness becomes possible. Perspective widens. The brain does not lecture, it whispers, weaving new connections until you awaken lighter, freer. Now let us step into the poetic reflection. Each night is a quiet ritual of healing. Every fear, every sorrow, every joy is placed into the furnace of your dreams, melted down and reshaped in the morning. You rise not only refreshed, but transformed. Sleep is not an escape from life, it is life's hidden workshop, where the soul itself is tended. Think of it this way. Every tear you've shed, every laugh you've shared, every fear you've endured has been carried into the night and returned to you in a softer form, night after night. Your brain writes symphonies of emotion, smoothing what is jagged, polishing what is bright, healing what is raw. You are not alone in this. You never have been. And so, tonight, as you drift, trust the alchemy of your sleeping mind. Trust that your fears will be softened, your sorrows lightened, your joys preserved. The furnace will glow, the iron will melt, the heart will heal. You need not control it. You need not even be aware of it. Simply rest and let the silent alchemists of your neurons do their work. Soon, we will journey into another hidden realm, exploring how sleep and time are bound together, how your dreams are not only about today, but ripple across years, weaving past, present, and future into one timeless stream. But for now, allow yourself to surrender, knowing that in this night, your emotions are safe, your heart is tended, and your spirit is gently, beautifully transformed. Have you ever wondered why dreams often feel timeless? Why you can fall asleep for only minutes, but live what feels like hours in a dream? Or why memories from decades ago can suddenly appear in your sleep as though they happened yesterday? Tonight, we journey into one of the most mysterious aspects of the human mind, the way sleep bends, stretches, and reshapes time itself. Picture yourself standing in a grand clock tower. Its gears are massive, turning slowly with deep, echoing clicks. The hands of the clock sweep across a dark sky full of stars. But as you step closer, something strange happens. The gears slow, then accelerate. Time itself warps and bends. In the world of sleep, this is exactly what occurs. For the brain is not bound by the same linear rhythm it follows when you are awake. When you fall asleep, your conscious mind releases its grip on the steady march of seconds and minutes. Your brain enters a different kind of time, a subjective time, inside dreams. Entire lifetimes can be lived in the span of minutes, a phenomenon researchers call temporal compression. The brain condenses experiences, stitching together fragments so seamlessly that we accept them as real. A single REM cycle might contain adventures that span years, or conversations that seem endless. Did you know that during deep, slow-wave sleep, the brain actually replays experiences from your day at accelerated speeds? Neurons fire in rapid bursts, compressing hours of waking life into seconds of rehearsal. It is as though the mind has a fast-forward button, replaying and reinforcing memories quickly, so it can process more material in less time. Meanwhile, REM dreams stretch time in the opposite direction, expanding moments, lingering on them, allowing emotions to unfold. Sleep is not just rested. There is suspense in how this bending of time affects memory. Think of your earliest childhood memory. Perhaps it is fragmented, hazy, almost dreamlike. Sleep plays a role in reshaping these memories, replaying them over the years, compressing some details, expanding others. In a way, your memories are like films edited over and over in the cutting room of the night. Each new sleep may add a new layer of music, a new filter, a new cut by the time you recall them decades later. They are not as they first were, but as sleep has sculpted them to be. Dreams also act as bridges between past and future. Have you noticed how dreams sometimes blend old faces with present settings, or weave childhood places into future anxieties? The brain is not merely recalling the past, it is predicting, testing, simulating. Sleep researchers believe that dreams are a kind of rehearsal for the future, a space where the mind can explore possible outcomes. In this way, time is no longer linear, but cyclical, looping, spiraling, weaving together threads of yesterday and tomorrow. Imagine you are walking through a forest at night. In one moment, the trees are from your hometown. In the next, they are ancient and unknown. Behind you, voices from your past echo ahead of you. Shadows of possible futures shimmer. This is the forest of dream time, where chronology dissolves and only meaning remains. The suspense is that you never know what your mind will weave next. A lost memory, a future fear, or an impossible world that feels real nonetheless. There is a strange poetry in how time behaves while you rest. For instance, if a sound occurs in the real world, an alarm clock, a dog barking, a door closing, your dreaming mind can weave it into a storyline instantly, creating a narrative that seems to have been unfolding for minutes or even hours. How does the brain do this? How does it fold time backward to make room for something that only just happened? It is one of sleep's greatest mysteries, a reminder that our experience of time is not fixed, but endlessly flexible. And what about aging itself? The way our perception of time changes as we grow older. In childhood, summers feel endless. Days stretch like golden rivers. In adulthood, years seem to pass in the blink of an eye. Sleep may be one reason for this. As children, our sleep cycles are longer, richer in REM, filled with expansive dream worlds. As we age, REM sleep shortens, dreams compress. Perhaps this shrinking of dream time is one reason life itself seems to accelerate. Sleep is the hidden ruler of our perception of time, shaping not only our nights, but the very way we experience our years. Scientists have also found that sleep strengthens what are called temporal associations, connections between when events happened. Without proper sleep, we might remember facts, but not when they occurred. A sleepless brain is like a scattered deck of cards, all the pieces there but no order. With deep rest, the brain sorts the cards, arranging them into a coherent timeline. Sleep is not only a sculptor of memory, it is the keeper of time's rhythm. Now, let us step into the poetic reflection. Sleep is a river flowing through your life, sometimes rushing, sometimes meandering, sometimes looping back on itself. In its waters are the fragments of your past, the questions of your present, and the seeds of your future. At night, you are carried along this current, free from clocks and calendars. You are allowed to drift, to bend, to float in the timeless ocean of the dreaming mind. Perhaps this is why dreams have always fascinated humanity. Ancient civilizations believed dreams were prophecies, messages from gods, glimpses into futures yet to come. They may not have been entirely wrong, for in the bending of time during sleep, your brain really is exploring futures, testing outcomes, whispering possibilities. In this way, dreams are not only memories, they are bridges to what could be. And so, tonight, as you lay your head down, trust that time will no longer feel heavy. You don't need to hold on 2 minutes to count the hours in your dreams. You will drift into worlds where time stretches and contracts, where your past is revisited, your present reshaped, your future rehearsed. Sleep will carry you outside the clock tower, into the eternal now of the dreaming mind. And when you awaken, you may find that something subtle has shifted. A memory softened, an idea clarified, a fear rehearsed. The passage of time during sleep is not wasted, is transformed. Every night you step into the river, and every morning you emerge, changed. Soon we will journey further into how sleep is connected, not only to time, but to the vast cycles of nature, the rhythms of the moon, the tides of the sea, and the turning of the earth itself. But for now, surrender to the bending of time, and let your mind float free, carried safely in the timeless current of your dreams.